Well, hello there guys and girls, I hope you're all doing bloody well. My name's Mikey and welcome along to another episode of Draw with Mikey. It's a pleasure as ever for having you. For those of you who are new, welcome freshers. It is the midweek show. Basically, it's a super casual series. It's very unedited. We talk about whatever, draw whatever in a sketchbook. It's my opportunity to read through your comments and see what's going along with you lovely lot. And basically as well, maybe we throw any odd questions so it has a theme. We can talk about anything. It doesn't just have to be art. That being said, last week's question was, what are your best artist tips? So this is one of those ones where I get to be a bit clever, because I'm basically asking you what your best tips are, and I'm going to read through them all and steal them for myself and hopefully become a better artist. And what did you guys say to such things? Ying got into the comments and said, I want more lesbian poses sketches. Yes, you do, Ying. Yes, you do. So, yeah, we can do more of that. More girl on girl. Totally safe for work poses and vigor studies. I was expecting, so this is what I'm talking about when I say it's completely unedited. This is like raw. I was expecting maybe some sort of answer to artist tips, but we'll see what the next comment's got to say. Visual Paraparake says, thank you for these videos. I haven't drawn for so long, but I've started up again. I don't have much friends, so I enjoy drawing with you during these videos. Gives me courage to try Inktober. That's very kind. I'm really pleased to hear that. And yeah, crack on and get some drawing done, if that's what you're into. Some of you guys do like to just listen to this series in the background when you're doing your own stuff. That is great. And visually, I thought I'd just share, because you're absolutely right, Inktober is just hijacking my month already. So I thought I'd just record some of the inking I did for one of the One Punch Man monsters, which is my personal Inktober theme, but I just wanted to do because I fucking love One Punch Man, and the artwork behind it by Yusuke Murata is so incredibly strong. Obviously the comedy's from One, the guy who writes it, but I just wanted to pay kind of homage to his monster designs and stuff, because they're all based off of like classic cinema and literature as well in Japan, and Inktober seemed like a really good opportunity for me to sit down and look monster by monster at some of my favourites, and thus get Inktober done as well. And also, whilst I'm on this massive tangent straight out of the box, this is just like the casual series where it's my opportunity to read your comments. I'm just a bit conscious that we're running the tablet giveaway competition. You don't need to start retweeting this particular episode or getting all busy and excited on here for that. That's totally cool. All of that action is happening on Twitter and Instagram, where I'll be picking from the winners. And obviously you need to be subscribed here. But this is more of just a chill thing. So don't feel like you need to like get all in the business around here, because I've got plenty of comments already to read through. I love catching up with you guys. But like there's a time physics limitation to how much I can get through. So I'm glad it gave you inspiration. Visual Parake, I'm destroying your name. Stephen Cabrera says, my best artist tip is that you should strive for perfection. You'll never get there. So if you want to create something but fear you don't have the skills or talents to do it, just do it. Yeah. The journey is the destination. Oh, man. This is like a fucking self-help book you'd find by the toilet. So just enjoy doing what you do, or find something else that you enjoy doing, as long as it doesn't involve animals and or children. I am assuming what you mean is like, enjoy what you do. Wait, do what you enjoy doing, as long as it doesn't involve harming or abusing animals or children. You've left that bit out, so you've just said, as long as it doesn't involve animals or children, like any profession involving animals or children should not be done. You come from a very particularly strong religion. Veterinarians, teachers, nurses in a children ward, all of them, straight to prison. I understand, it's fine. Phonatus Prominion Draws 95 says, I'm working on an anime sci-fi post-apocalyptic western. The main character is an African-American girl by the name of Eden. Very interesting. I'd like to hear more. Stephen Cabrera, going back to your comment as well. Yes, absolutely. Like, you know, if you could create a perfect piece of art, that would be amazing. But get your ideas out. He is absolutely correct. Understand that you're not going to create a perfect piece and then make a messy piece and then maybe make it again and better. Definitely do the, this sounds stupid, but do the doing. Don't do the waiting. Do the doing straight away. Don't wait. Then get it better. But don't try to make it perfect out of the box. It was a great comment and a great point. I was just really stuck on the fact that you've got a real beef with children and animals. Dr. Hook says, artist tip. Having both a foreground and background helps make the viewer feel more connected to the piece. Also, when practicing in a sketchbook, if you have the time, try to always draw more than one thing. Don't just stick to one quick sketch and say, I'm done for today. Go an extra mile and do a few more. Yes, Dr. Hook. Stretch yourself, express yourself, push yourself, and get some foregrounds and backgrounds. I'm quite, let's have a sip of, oh, by the way, everybody, if I haven't said it already, Can you hear that? Make sure you've got yourself a cup of tea or coffee. Really helps just make life happen. Yes, I am a bit guilty of not doing many backgrounds. I'm doing more now, or at least I'm trying to include textured backgrounds or colours when I do like the fan arts and stuff like that. But yeah, I tend to like focus on a character, and I haven't like got a huge amount of experience doing backgrounds or surface world design under my wing. So it's one of my things I want to have a little bit of a play around with in 2018. God, talking about the future already. You know, the what's it they say? Like, the world laughs at you when you try to make plans because it always throws something in your way. Like hurricanes, you poor people in the States. I hope everybody's doing well, of course. And Geralt Rivia says, how the hell did you draw that without any primary guidelines? Well, Geralt Rivia, if that is your correct pronunciation, I do apologise. I was just working, like I said, I was looking at an existing picture by the artist behind Cannabis Works. And this is from one of his manga. The picture I did last time of the girl on a motorbike from Orange, one of the retro style things. So yeah, just look, see it with your eye, reproduce it with your hand. Honestly, like, you have to practice at it loads, but you get there. I'm not particularly good at it. I can get some basics out of the way. I'm no, oh god, who's the guy I'm always like wanking over, who I really just, his art's incredible and he just draws from scratch. You know what I'm talking about, he's Korean. Kim Jong-ji. I realised I had to come up with a name of a legitimate artist quickly before that sentence got out of hand. Kim Jong-ji. You know who I'm talking about. He's fucking incredible. That's the standard I want to be at least as a minimum. But I'm slowly just, you know, getting there like anybody else, an artist on the journey, just like you. Jaskaran Singh says, is it time for the real-time fan art Photoshop tutorial? An artist tip would never get frustrated. That's quite a difficult tip to follow. Never be frustrated. That advice is like saying, be better at art. That was good, love. Now try being better. Yeah, well done. Never be frustrated. Hardcore Cruvo, Jessica, answer your call in my book. Real-time fan art Photoshop. Yes, of course. You're talking about the Cindy thing. Stage 3. I still haven't got round to it. Oh my god. Yeah, that does need doing. This weekend, I was a little bit lazy because I was announcing the tablet giveaway competition ahead of Inktober. Make sure, guys, to be in with a shot, you, of course, follow me on Instagram and Twitter. I basically thought, right, let's do that. Let's get out of the way. I've got some other things going on. I basically don't have time to make any other videos this weekend. So I kind of just cheated and made that announcement video to be the video for the Saturday. Don't worry, more of the good stuff is, of course, always in the Mikey Pipeworks. Caesar Solis, that sounds bad as well. Caesar Solis says, hey Mikey, thank you for inspiring me to draw again. You're welcome, Caesar, it's a pleasure. I love all of your videos. Could you draw Kurumi Tokisaki from Date Alive? Please, Kurumi, best girl. I've had similar requests before. And Avengeance says, Mikey, please could you recreate Mikasa Ackerman? I think that's how you spell her name. I know who you're talking about. The Ackermans. One of the other semi-royalist bloodlines who can't have their memories altered in the fabled land of Attack on Titan. I know exactly what you're talking about. And also, she does like loads of sit-ups. Darth Perfidious, okay, says, I want 100 more hips and asses and Szechuan sauce. It's what it's all about, Morty. It's all about a Szechuan sauce. Yeah, that's like our story arc. It's going to keep happening. Oh, I better not do that. Sorry, if I go off in like a Rick rant, like I think I'm amazing, but when I hear it back, it sounds fucking awful. Casey Ellis says, hey Mikey, hello Casey. So I have a funny story. Careful. I'm working on a life study of flowers and a vase I'm using as a Jack Daniels bottle. Excellent suggestion. Mind you, I'm an AP art at senior high school, so I can bend the rules. But one of the deans walked in during class, tried to give me detention, but the bottle was empty and didn't smell like alcohol. Hashtag hardcore crew. Yeah, we need to have a little chat about concepts of funny story. It's a story, Casey Ellis. I'm glad you didn't get detention for not drinking at school. P.S. Oh my god, Ready Player One is fucking amazing and I loved it so much. Highly recommended. Armada by Ernest Cline. Casey Ellis, you've won me back. That story could have been crap if you backed up my play on Ready Player One being a fucking amazing book. Absolutely it is. Armada by Ernest Cline. I am going to Control-C that into a new tab for later. Totally for probably buying and not downloading as a .mobi file. What? So Jericho Cross 97 says the best tip that I like is using the underhand method for the sketching. I personally have a problem with getting too dark too fast. Careful, racism. So I found this is useful, especially for playing with my ideas. Hope this helps someone. By the way, sorry I missed the last question, but my first anime was either Naruto or Inuyasha back in 2009. 2009 Inuyasha. They did re-release it as a cleaner Blu-ray or DVD copy, so maybe that was about the time it came out, because Inuyasha is hella older than Naruto. You don't care how crap your day is. Hearing you read my comments always puts a smile on my face. Oh, you're absolute welcome. It's always a pleasure having all of you guys along. There are quite a few comments though, so I'm going to have to keep up the pace. Troll You says, I like your drawing, thank you very much. And Guilherme Conclaves Diaz says, currently I'm drawing and trying to improve, but it's so frustrating. Well, Guilherme, you just need to listen to that earlier comment which says never get frustrated. If you simply do that, your problem goes away. It takes time for me to see improvement, and during that time lots of doubts pop up, like, am I training the right way? If I keep doing this, will I really improve? Isn't there a better way? I really don't know how to go about it. Oh, Guilherme, self-doubts, like, you can make those things up in your brain and they will fuck you up if you're not careful, good sir. I recommend, relax. Like, that's such a vague answer, but, do the art you enjoy and enjoy it for the process. Oh, I'm stealing from other people's comments already. And just let the journey be my destination. I've straight up jacked off the first comment from this video. Absolutely. He was right. I love that. It turns out I like it really much. Oh man, it's just tickled me. Yeah, dude. Just like follow your heart. You know what I mean? Let the experience be the fun. You know what I'm getting at. I don't know why that's tickled me so much. Just have a little sip of coffee. Oh yeah, Ian Maxwell says, these vids are more or less the only thing keeping me sane whilst I tackle the mountain of cosplay work I have to get through. Okay, so here's my pro tip. If you use knives or chisels for that matter, keep them sharp, like killing sharp. Don't fuck around with dull blades. Arsehole them or sharpen them as soon as they stop cutting and start chewing. Good. Yeah, okay. I'm down with that. Keep your knives sharp. I use a sharp knife in the kitchen. I don't do much woodwork for chisels. But, you know, if I had a chisel, mate, it would be, you know, a fucking shaving chisel. Prime Charms, or Pin Me Charmex, says, sup, Mikey? Hello, Pin Me. I'm watching this whilst doing my essay. Not really helping because I keep coming back to watch a video. Welcome, good sir. The first anime I watched was Naruto. My cousin introduced me to Naruto. Then in a few days, I passed him in it, watching 4 to 5 episodes every day. Then I got into Hunter x Hunter, the 1999 version, then One Piece. Dude, yeah, old school Hunter x Hunter. Yeah, what Naruto, you can eat up the episodes, although there's too many fillers, and that's a bit of a fucker. But yeah, like, just to give that context, the question before the last one being, what are your best art tips, was also, of course, what were one of your first anime experiences? Good catch up. Buttersway says, hi. Hello, Buttersway. I started drawing but a few months ago. To keep myself motivated, I posted all the results on my channel. If somebody wants to check it out and give me some advice, that would be awesome. Thanks a lot. Buttersway, I'm not gonna. Zookeeper02 says, what little things were game changers in my level of artwork? One German guy in a documentary I saw said, inspiration is for amateurs. Oh, so nice to hear that said out loud. Like, there comes a point where inspiration doesn't come easy, but that's not a drawing skill issue. Best technical drawing tip? I've got to have my, get my head around that, Zookeeper02. Best technical drawing tip, keep your foundation lines light. What am I doing now? Drawing random poses from, read more, Pinterest. Zookeeper02, random poses from Pinterest is like 50% of my drawing life. I fucking love Pinterest, although it's a bugger because you can't source artists very easily. So you see some amazing work, but you'll never find out who made it. Inspiration is for the amateurs. Maybe, I mean, not strictly, you can be inspired by anything. But yeah, like, you don't have to wait for an inspirational moment in order to still build up your skills as an artist. That's definitely a good point. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, I guess I do. Guy Person says, an art tip is put your sketchbook or on a binder or something with a small acute angle. Okay, yeah, that helps your visual parallax ratio and you don't get too distorted, because I have to keep my head quite far back when I do a lot of artwork so that the top of my head isn't blocking the camera sitting over my desk. It does mean that I get a slightly skewy view, and sometimes, like, I think all the proportions are wrong, and then when I actually look directly over a piece of artwork, I can see that I've made the characters maybe ever so slightly longer and thinner than I thought I had, just because of that distance relationship. So that is always a very good tip. If you can get like a light box or something that has it just almost flat on, or like an actual drafting table or something like that, that'll fucking do the trick for you. The Little Dark Light says, hey Mikey, hello Little Dark Light. I learned from Mark Crilly how to draw basic shapes. I nearly lost my ability to speak there. It really helps. I know this is crazy, but I hate rough sketching. It throws me off. I learned body structure from you. Thanks a lot, man. I'm 16 and you really help out. You're welcome. I'm glad I've been of some use with them tutoriales. It's a pleasure, of course. And also to all of you guys, by the way, just casually saying whilst I've been reading through your comments, things like, oh, I watch all of your DWMs or I follow along whilst I do this. Bloody love you lot for that. Like, I say it every episode, so sometimes I think I don't have to say it, and then I think, no, I better say it because it's true. But yeah, no, absolutely. Smashing crowd, keeping up with all the stuff and things, especially bearing in mind it's just me trying to get a sugar high off a tiny bit of cake and sip some coffee and read comments from the interwebs. But it's basically the two-way. This is where I work out what's going on with you guys. Big sip. Okay. Rusty Hound says, the best advice I got was to be messy and make mistakes. Knowing that not all drawings have to be pretty helps me get over perfectionism issues. Oh my god. Perfectionism issues, there we go, and gain way more mileage. Yes. So that's a building theme from some of your responses already, is that the perfect piece isn't going to come every time, so rough it out. Be happy with the imperfect, get your idea down on a page, and enjoy the act of doing it as much as the result you want to see down there. So that's kind of like the overall big tip we're building up thus far. Alex Garcia says, Mikey, Alex, I've been working on a steampunk drawing for my arts class, and on the side trying to create a couple of males and maybe couple poses. Good for you, Alex. Keep up the good work. Make it family safe. And James Ellis says, if you're working on paper with a pencil, hold the drawing up in front of a mirror every so often to check your work. Love your channel, and I am a Patreon member. Hashtag hardcore crew. James E, thank you very much for your support, kind sir. Yeah. So this is a thing digital artists do all the time, and you'll see it in any of their time-lapse videos, is that they mirror their artwork from time to time, and it forces your brain to readdress what you're looking at it. Makes you look at it with fresh eyes and notice maybe mistakes that you weren't quite seeing before when you were slowly building up the artwork. So the day-to-day equivalent of that is, yeah, hold your artwork up to a mirror, or maybe if the sun's coming in a window, just hold it up to a bright light if you can see through the paper. Looking at it in the reversed version makes your brain just kind of reassess. That's an excellent tip to have. Another one that I heard from somebody, from a YouTube video of somebody, I forget who, but they said, maybe it was Rake, but they said when they work on a piece, even if they've pretty much wrapped it up, they try not to completely set it in stone that night. They try to leave themselves maybe just 15-20 minutes of little touching up bits to do for the next day, because that way they return to their artwork completely fresh, just to wrap up those little bits, and it helps them just have a fresh look and maybe catch out another couple of things that they might have missed the night before. So I think that's probably a really good way to approach stuff, if you have the time in your life to do it. I'm a little bit back to the wall, last minute uploading, last minute drawing. What we got going on? Rogier Pinkers says, hi Mikey, hello Monsieur Rogier. Love your videos and tutorials, thank you very much. I'm currently working on my Inktober drawing whilst listening to your rambling. Yeah, that's what happens, mate. I recently discovered that I have to finish my pose tryouts and not to stop after the first rough forms. Keep it up. Finishing the drawing is more satisfying than 10 half-drawn poses. Also, your vids helped. Excellent, sir. I'm pleased. Half-assed, loose, scratchy poses are a great warm-up to get into something, but it is nice to kind of finish like a session with a sketchbook or on a piece of paper with something that is a little bit more complete that you can sort of hang your hat on and say, yeah, that's not too bad. Azakai Art says, I love your style. Thank you very much, Azakai. And Chris says, okay, not the right place to ask, but I used to draw manga style when I was a kid. I'm trying to learn how to draw seriously now that I'm 24. But every time I draw something from imagination, it looks really anime. Any tips? Yes, Chris. If you want to start drawing more, air quotes, realistically, or, go back to the basics and find a style from there without being influenced by anime and manga and stuff like that, I'd suggest start with anatomy and form study and life studies. Start with real life and then kind of work back from there and build up your style that way. Get to know the human figure. Jude Ortega says, I technically never watch these, but I do go back and forth between artwork that I'm working on whilst listening to your smooth voice. Well, Jude, thank you very much for getting in comments and popping along. Always welcome. And Fool Offense says, hey Mikey, hello Fool. Thank you for all the vids. You're welcome. I've learned a lot and still need more practice, but thanks to you I can draw with confidence all over again. There's one thing I still have trouble with, and that is the head directions. It's more like facing up, sideways, tilted, and all those other directiones. Please help, your biggest fan. Full offence, I have done a tutorial video that probably doesn't fully answer the question, but does cover the head and neck muscles, and more importantly, how to draw the head when the head is tilting upwards. If you pop into Pinterest and just type head reference poses or something like that from angles, you will see an incredible range of heads at every conceivable angle. It is top stuff, definitely. Blank asks, am I the only one who thinks the motorbike is sexier than a character? In reference to the drawing I copied out last episode. And that might be fair. There's, like, that character isn't drawn to try to look sexy at all. It's just a character. It just happens to be a girl on a bike. Like, there's no rambunctious bustiness about it. It's just a girl riding a motorbike. And the motorbike, to be fair, has that retro late 80s, early 90s. You know, you might expect it in a early, like, crossover Jackie Chan film or something before it gets crashed. So yeah, I do like that old dirt bike retro feel about things. Also, slightly takes me back to the whole, like, original Dragon Ball kind of time of things. That late 80s, early 90s period was a dream time. Actually, when did Dragon Ball originally start? I'm going to guess 80s. Mid to late. Geron Slavinful says, best tip I can offer, watch all of Mikey Megamega's videos. Get your tongue out my ass. But thank you very much. That's very kind nonetheless. And Al Reed says, hey Mikey, hello Al. I'm drawing Pinhead from Hellraiser for a bit of Inktober. I'm not much into anime or manga, but your videos are great. Oh, thank you very much, dude. So maybe that'll be my art tip. Don't limit your influences. Akira was the first anime I ever saw. Love those crazy cartoons on liquid television like Aeon Flux. Aeon Flux! I thought Aeon Flux... Oh, shit. I've seen Aeon Flux, a film. I'm not going to give you an opinion on it. Was that based off of a fucking anime? I am out of touch. Do you ever remember... Side note to no one. Do you ever remember there's like the Phantom and he had that team, Defenders of the Earth? Yeah, that was it. And then they made like this really fucked up dark one called like Phantom 2030 or something, and had this really weird animation style, and these people had like put themselves into cybernetic bodies to live forever. It's fucked up. I don't know what's going on. I don't know why Aeon Flux just reminded me of that for some weird reason, but you just took me on a little side note, I'll read. Thank you. Lazyboy Games says, hello Mikey, hello Lazyboy. Love the video. My question is, what do you do when you make a mistake while inking? When I make a mistake while inking, I want to completely draw the whole picture again. Also, do you draw to scale? Most of the time when I try to draw a picture, I end up drawing it too big. Do you have any tips on how to draw to scale? Yes, so, overall, firstly, accept mistakes. We've covered that throughout this episode. That's everybody's feedback, so that's great. You've got that down by now. I would like to think, drawing to scale. If you've got like a complex image and you're trying to get your head around it a little bit, just kind of block everything out. Like the head of your character is just a block, and so the body of your character is like 3 blocks for the height of the head or something, or so many blocks wide. Get that really loose, like proportional sense. And then when you're trying to actually like draw something out on your page or map it out, start off with a really kind of light guidelines, a rough head shape, a rough body shape, a rough amount of space for any one particular masked object is going to be filling. And then just kind of build in the details from there. It doesn't have to be super strict, but if it loosely maps things out, you can kind of get a feel for it and think, oh, that's a little bit too big, or that area doesn't quite count for everything I want to fit into it, so I'll make that a bit bigger. And that kind of helps you map it out. And you can do that with a pencil on your page, and eventually you'll start just doing it in your head, and eventually your eye just gets a bit sharper. I try to draw to scale when I'm drawing stuff like that motorbike and so on. It's not perfect. You can see me really struggling in that last episode when I'm getting like the tyre angles and the circular shapes and stuff. And I made plenty of mistakes there, and I just kind of ink them in, scribble them up, get over it. If I've done like an ink line that's a mistake, just own it. Just sits there. I'm not bothered. Or if it's something really abstract, you can work it back into the artwork. But yeah, just that is the most normal thing. It happens. You make mistakes, accept that that's part of the process and not necessarily a bad thing. And then all of a sudden, that's a problem out the way and you're just cracking on in your creating. Warty Wizard says, I previously never watched drawing tutorials or looked for help with drawing, but you're the first person I've watched to help me improve and learn. I appreciate and thank you for the help whilst drawing in general. Hashtag hardcore crew. Warty Wizards, thank you very much. Let's have a sip. Dianis Art says, where is it in the video where actually answers the question in the title? Oh, I don't answer the question, Dianis Art. Yeah. You've made a terrible mistake. This isn't one of those good videos that you can find on YouTube. This isn't one where I'll put a question in a DWM and I'll tell you like some really hot tips and advice. No. This is the casual bullshit part of my channel where I just get to sit down and steal all of your advice and get all of your ideas and all of your suggestions for anime and manga. But also catch up and say hello. So yeah, if you've come here for like good knowledge and help, you're absolutely in the wrong place. Watch some of my videos at the weekend. They're a bit more direct. Your Ninja Way says, make more tutorials, please, for big boobs, because I can't draw boobs for 2 weeks and I feel so bad. You know what? Maybe in the future I think I will, but I've kind of covered boobs for now. I've done like 3 different tutorials and no rush to run back to it just as of yet, although the audio visuals could probably do with, getting spruced up a little bit now that I've got slightly better equipment. Application says, thanks Mikey, might sound a little pathetic, but you reading one of my comments again totally picked my mood up tonight. Excellent, dude, there's nothing wrong with that. Looking forward to sending you some of the art you helped me with. Don't have any art tips that particularly help me, I'm not very professional, but just keep drawing. Correct, that's a good tip. You're always going to start out shit at something, but you'll get better if you keep trying. As for your other questions, I'm in school right now learning to be an audio engineer, but read more. In my spare time, I've been sketching out ideas for a fantasy story. Oh my god, your comment is so long! Doobie-doobie-doobie-doobie-doobie-doobie-doobie-doobie. Gotcha. So basically, he didn't write that, that's just me skim reading. Coalescing an idea into becoming a cogent character is a fun but like time-consuming thing in your head. Because you'll vaguely have like, oh, I want this character to be like this, and then as you're just eating some cheese one day, you'll come up with a bit of a backstory, or be reading another manga and just think, oh, I want to incorporate something like that into my character's history or this particular thing or design. But slowly builds that up, and eventually you get to a point where you're ready to start roughing out some ideas pen to paper. Amari Warren says, can you do a tutorial of drawing eyes in the head of an anime girl? Yes, I can, Amari Warren, and I have. The Seventh Coyote says, yo, Mikey, hello, Seventh. This episode had so much nostalgia. Yeah. I've asked before about like your first anime in an earlier DWM or something similar, and yeah, it was proper nostalgia trip. Same in the last one. Anyway, I remember when you started the sip of tea thing for most commonly asked questions, as well as the watercolor and vagabond DWMs. Back when you could read all the comments and have time left over. Seventh Coyote, man, I fucking dream of those days. Whatever happened? I think at one point in the beginning you only had 30 comments. Ah, what a time. To answer your question, I find it useful to trace over my own drawing in order to fix it, change it, or add to it without having to redo all of it. However, I am slightly read more. Ooh, so many long commentos. Let's get this open. Okay, you are slightly against tracing when learning to draw. Excellent. I would always discourage people, unless it's literally like a rubbing, like you found like an ancient tablet and you have to get some tracing paper out and some chalk and do a rubbing of it. That's fine. In terms of actually tracing out artwork, you're not gonna gain anything from it. It's not gonna actually build up skill. If you trace out artwork, literally put paper on top and draw around the lines, you are gaining no art skill. So yeah, I suggest come away from it. Copying out artwork sharpens your eyes, makes you aware of space, makes you aware of what you're looking at, makes you pick up the details more, makes you go back to your work and readdress what was similar and what was different. That is something entirely. That's hand-eye coordination. That's technical skill. Tracing is nothing. I mean, don't hate yourself if you enjoy tracing. If you're happy, live your life. But in terms of somebody who's trying to develop their art skills, no, waste of time. Sorry to Seventh Coyote. I just have a particularly strong opinion about tracing and tracing paper in general. The people who make tracing papers are stopping from artists from developing. It's fucking conspiracy, okay? Tracing papers, 9/11, it's all there, okay? Read between the lines. Get woke, people. Fucking moon truthers. Eddie Garcia says, what are your biggest pet peeves when people make comments about drawing? Mine is, I wish I could draw like that. Oh, pet peeves about drawing. I don't have any pet peeves. Like, well, what I mean is like, how to put it? When somebody like stops and says, oh, if I'm in the middle of drawing, and like, they're just like, oh, you're drawing, that's really good. When I was a kid, I used to just, in my head, just be like, well, yes, could you fuck off? Because I'm drawing right now and I'm quite clearly enjoying it and I don't need you here. But that's like a really fucking asinine, like, a-hole way of fucking living your life. So now when people, and now I'm an adult and I'm far more polite, when people sort of come up to you and just like, oh, that's really good, or they sort of say, oh, that's okay, or what are you doing? Why aren't you working? Get back to work. Then I usually try to be really sort of like, oh yeah, thank you very much. If somebody gives you a compliment or if somebody stops you in the middle of drawing, it's a bit of a fucker, because sometimes you're in a moment and you're in the flow. But if they've stopped you because they just wanted to take a moment out of their day to say, oh, that's really good, or just give you a compliment, and fucking make it worth their time. You know what I mean? That's just like, no one has to do that. It's just out of casual kindness. Someone might say, oh, that's good. Then I just say thank you, man. Just show that I appreciate them stopping to take a moment. Outside of that, though, then I don't have much to say. And it can get a little bit awkward. Because they're like, oh, yeah, that's really good. And someone's just standing over you and you're just like, thanks again? And then you're just kind of like, could you leave? So I can just get back to drawing. But like, no, in a very general sense, I try not to have pet peeves about people commenting on my drawings. If they are just like, oh, their eyes are a little big or this head's a little bit weird, then sometimes I'm just like, that's the point, you fucking moron. Learn art history. But outside of that, no. If somebody wants to come talk to me about art, There's stuff I enjoy talking about more than others, but I will try to encourage almost any of it, and not try to put people off by saying I hate one thing or the other. I've gone on a bit of a long tangent there, but basically, if people want to talk about your artwork, just be grateful someone's taken a moment out of their day to show an interest in something you're doing, really. Get out your own head and have a little think about it, because getting in your own head and getting into your own place of art is like a massive part of it. So it's really hard to like change gears and stop what you're doing and start interacting with other human beings if they want to talk to you about it. But do take a conscious effort to like do that shift and fucking invite people to talk to you about your artwork and stuff, because it will help you massively. You'll feel much better about things. But then, yeah, go back into like, introvert mode and fucking smash out a load of artwork. Anime Sketcher says, thank you so much for responding to my comment. You're welcome. I've been studying anatomy a lot and I'm way better. By the way, I'm starting a series similar to this on my channel. Shameless self-promotion. No worries, Anime Sketcher, that's fine. Eddie Garcia says, damn, I'm getting older just hearing you talk about your first anime. Yeah, that memory lane stuff we were going down the other week. Joshua Sullivan says, please, does anybody have some tips for me? I practice and practice and practice, but my art seems to get slowly worse in quality. I seem to have forgotten how to draw, and if that makes any sense, I've relearned everything I've forgotten and still keep going backwards in quality. I'm at my wit's end. I don't want to stop drawing. I have an unshakable drive to keep going, but I'm getting worse and I know my progress is slow, but why am I going backwards when I practice every day? Sounds like, Joshua Sullivan, you're not practicing correctly. Practice doesn't make perfect. Perfect practice makes perfect. If you practice how to do something correctly, no matter how slowly and painstaking, and do that on repeat, you'll eventually get good at it. If you're practicing just something and you just do a type of art or a particular style with no focus, you're not going to drive to a particular goal. That would be my loosely guessed answer at your suggestion. Also, don't stress about it, mate. The journey is the destination. Just be yourself. Get one of the art, and all of the other comments we read at the very beginning of this episode. The Legacy says, art tip. This is to improve accuracy. Guess the distance between objects and then measure. Guess, then measure. It's super tedious, but it helps make things more accurate. It does get boring after a while, but I would say less annoying than a grid method. Happy drawing. Thanks for Legacy. Measure, guess, then measure again. Yeah, get an eye for the distances between things. Do you ever see artists? I don't know if people do this in real life anymore. Do you ever see artists sitting there drawing something and they stick their thumb up as a bit of a visual measurement against something and then move their thumb elsewhere to understand how the size of one object compares to another using the thumb as a reference point? Do that. That's still like massive. Like visual referencing distances and space is also going to help out how you map your artwork onto your own pages vis-a-vis an earlier comment. How are we doing with comments? Oh, there's quite a few. What are we? Let's just scroll up really quickly. Oh, it's like 222. 222 comments. You arseholes. I had hoped there'd be a lot less this day, which is why I put like a black and white picture in a thumbnail, something less visually exciting, to kind of, how bad is that? Reduce the input to reduce the amount of comments. Didn't quite work out. Rossman Ultra says, hey, you Mikey, good work as always, sir. Tips hat. What I'm working on colour skills. Check out a Berserk drawing. Also, serious talk, I'm interested in commissioning you to do me a drawing, and if you like, then into an SAS. How would one go about doing that, sir? Good day. Rossman Ultra. I'm still... Oh, fuck. I was expecting to be open for commissions like 2 months ago. It hasn't worked out. I'm really fucking busy. I'm still not open for commissions. I'm really, really sorry. I mean, you can always suggest stuff. Absolutely. I'll stick it on the list. And if I really like it, I might do it sooner than later. Patrons probably get the best pickings of my attention because they sort of say do this and I kind of go, yeah, why the hell not? But at the moment, yeah, commissions still closed. I will announce when commissions are open. I'm so like tentative. It might not even be this year at the moment. Things are just a little bit hectic on the edge. So we'll see how that goes. Oh, dude, yeah, sorry. Although, from your suggestion, I'll see if I can point you in the right direction of anybody else. Enigma Random wants to draw pregnant women. Good for you. Just, you know when you read a comment and you don't pre-read it, so you're literally, I was just like, next. Enigma Random. Just a little update, just in general. Oh, what does he want out of life? Just wants to draw pregnant women. Good for him. Zio Kiwi says, warm lights, cold shadows. That's become a mantra for me. Warm lights, cold shadows. I'm going to throw that on your face, Zio Kiwi. I've got myself a set of warm grey Copic markers, so my shadows are full of warmth. Yeah, motherfucker, deal with it. Shadow, oh no, that's good advice, by the way. Shadow Shinobi says, hey Mikey, hello Shadow. You're one of my biggest inspirations for drawing. Thank you very much, good sir. Thanks to each and every one of you. I want to be able to draw out a character off the top of my head as good as you do. Oh mate, I rarely draw characters off the top of my head. I always like mull it over forever. I'm a huge fan of your videos and learn so much from you. My art tip is watch and look at how different artists draw and use them to reference. It helps to keep a creative mindset. Yes, yes, yes! If you guys follow along with this channel, which you probably do if you're listening this far into the video, you are the hashtag hardcore crew. I bloody love you. I'm actually going to just break up this comment with some coffee. Lovely. But more importantly as well, I'm just one bloke with a particular approach to drawing, which is quite a common approach. I think loads of people do it. If you want to find out your own way and your own art styles, don't just watch my videos. Watch as many as you can. Suck it all up. There's like... name people off the top of my head. Obviously, Mark Crilly, Jazza, Sykra or Skyra. Is it Hey Bartel and there's Ciarin? Is that how you spell her name? There's loads, basically. There's loads of fucking amazing artists on YouTube. Most of them are actually genuinely, honest to God, I'm not trying to be rogue about it, better than me. And I fucking look at their work and I'm just like, shit, I want to do this. But yes, get as much as you can, get a whole spread from it and find your own place among them. Or beyond them, and set a new trend, why not? Gregory90 says, my first anime, I think, was the first season of Pokemon, Ronin Warriors, Gundam Wing, or Sailor Moon. No idea they were anime at the time. Yeah, I don't really remember. I've heard about Ready Player One on a Wisecrack YouTube channel, a good artist. I follow Wisecrack, a good artist to learn from, tutorials, another one is just to relax. A good artist is to learn from tutorials, another one is just to relax. I don't really know what you're saying there. Is that cryptic? Currently, I'm working on a picture of Lady Stoneheart from A Song of Ice and Fire and a comic. Lady Stoneheart. Oh, that's grim. Like, you make me sad, man. Cat was the only fucking... I'm not going to go on a full-on rant because we've been here before. But Cat was the only character from the start of the Game of Thrones books who was fucking trying to keep things together and keep people alive and stop a fucking country going to war. And what does she get for it? For all of her hard work and her struggles and trying to keep her family together, she gets fucked over and she comes back as like this fucking... She doesn't deserve that shit. George R.R., you're just... Oh, sorry, I've gone a little Phil's tangent. George R.R. Martin, man, you fucker. Like, you glorious bastard. Marcus Argon says hashtag tits for clicks. Yeah, mate, those boobs get those views. And SF Studio says, talking about anime, I really feel old. I was thinking Robotech all along, or the original Macross back in the 80s. Those are some fucking good anime. You're okay. Sadal Baker says, I got the iPad Pro and the Apple Pencil. It's a great combination for my busy life, and I need to draw on a go about getting away from the tech field. System admin here. So far, I'm enjoying drawing and painting on an app called Procreate and iPad. I've had some requests to have a go at Procreate. I'd love to show you my stuff, Mike. You're a busy bloke. Lol. Have a great day, mate. Sad Albaker, you can always show me your artwork on the messages section on my Facebook page. It will genuinely be months before I get round to it, no lie. I've got like an auto message now that actually explains that. But I will eventually get there. I'm thankfully finally starting to get through those Facebook messages again. Which I should have done sooner because you guys have been sending in some excellent artwork and I'm trying to make like a your art gallery. It's another thing that I'm just, picking up the pace on and getting back into the play. Oh my god, there's so many commands. Maestra says, you should do a drawing contest where you give us a character to draw and we submit. Would be fun and it would motivate me to draw. Yeah, I should do drawing contests. Not at the moment, or not with Inktober and the tablet giveaways, and then I'm going to do like a Patreon giveaway for November. But in a general sense, yes. In the meantime, just do the Draw of Jazza drawing contest. They're so good. Like his drawing contests. I've never committed to one, and every time he does one, I'm just like, oh, I really want to join in this time. And then I don't get the time. But other people are doing it, so don't worry if you're ever eager to get involved with artwork and stuff and ting. And I think there's a concept art website, conceptart.org, something like that, where in their forums they have their own regular monthly competitions as well, just to kind of keep you with projects to do and keep your portfolio fresh, which is pretty cool. Chad Siep says, Age alert, my first anime was Battle of the Planets, G-Force, but as a teen I got into Xenon and Area 88 manga books. That was what launched me into being an artist. Chad Siep, excellent start. And Necrovarius says, my tip for drawing good My tip for drawing, going to sound like a perv, but if you're looking to learn anatomy, I've examined nude models. Not porn, just artistic nude models. Well, that's just called life studies, mate. That's fine. I'm not a perv. Mikey knows what I'm on about. Hashtag hardcore crew. I do. It's just life studies. Yeah, that's completely normal. That's fine. If you're like, doing life study, but the other person doesn't know you're drawing them because you're in their garden at night looking through their window, then that's going to be a little bit more difficult. Especially if you have to whisper through the letterbox, hold still, or something like that, because it's going to take a while to get the pose right. EVLG says, Mikey. Hello, EVLG. Best tip I can give you is clip your layers in Photoshop. When you're colouring, you do all the weird selecting and inverting and deleting and creating a new layer and doing the shadows on that, when all you need to do is make a new layer over, read more, your base layer, mouse in between the two layers and your layer panel, alt left click, and whatever you draw on a layer will only show up on the layer it's clipped to. I think somebody else has tried to tell me about doing this. And the reason why I don't, well, actually, I use, in my recent kind of drawing shift of kind of painting style that I've kind of getting a feel for over the last sort of couple months, I work on less layers than I used to. Back in the day, I'd have like a fucking 20, 30 layers to a piece. Simply because at any one time, I'd want to remove these types of shadows, that type of highlight, that type of shading, this form of texture, and swap it out for anything else. And with the idea of having a piece that's still quite movable. And that's back when, for various reasons, I had pieces where there's like a full character underneath the clothing layer and stuff like that. Now I create something a little bit more finished in a lesser amount of layers. I still use quite a few, but I think when you clip, you end up putting all of your stuff, yeah, sure, to the clipped layer in that space, but everything still squeezes onto one layer. So if you want to remove one element of what you're up to, it's already embedded with all the other bits, and you've got to kind of just paint it out and paint back in from scratch. So it's kind of a commitment flexibility thing that keeps me multi-layered as a man. Mateus Tegner says, hi Mikey. Hello Mateus. By the way, EVLG, thank you very much for that comment. Let me just show some appreciation, because that's some genuine useful knowledge based on observing how I paint online and then genuine Photoshop skills to get around it. So thank you, extra big thank you, because that's some like proper useful stuff directly for me. What was I saying? Yes, Matthias. Hi Mikey, hello Matthias. I just finished this DWM and I realised it was almost an hour long. Yeah, dude, they get long now. I don't know what to tell you what happens. I just lost an hour of the day without even knowing. But do take this as a compliment, Mikey. Thank you very much. I'm sorry I stole part of your life. And I look forward to the next DWM. Welcome. You're probably listening to it right now. Sorry for the bad English and all that. From a little nerd in Sweden. Ah! Jag förstår lite svenska. Wait, what else? That's literally it. That's all the Swedish I know. Jag förstår lite svenska and G'day stanit metra? No, that's fucking Polish. Oh shit. I've Czech even, I should say. Oh, I used to know. Oh yeah, there we go. Hey, hur står det till? That's what I was struggling for. Hur står det till, Matthias? The great Cornelio says, I guess the best tip artists I have to say is to try to simplify the things you want to draw, whether they be a real life object or a drawing you really like, to very basic shapes and cubicles, circles and cylinders. I just realised they all start with C's. I think this really helps with drawing in general, because simplifying your drawings into these shapes can help make your drawings look a little more solid and 3D and stuff. Plus, by using shapes you can really get a better view on how, read more, click, that using shapes can help you get out quite a bit when it comes to using perspective. Oh, I've missed out a line of what you've said, but yes, basic shapes, looking at a complex image and with your eye being able to break it down into some subsections really just helps you kind of eat a big meal using little bites. It's a great idea. Roy Bremner says The Matrix is almost 20 years old. Oh, God. And now I'm feeling, oh yeah, me too, man. Why did you bring that up? So did we talk about The Matrix last week? Such a fucking random thing. Yeah, man. Fuck, we're all old, and it's... I'll tell you what, though, man. The Matrix is such a good film. That stands on its own today. That is a compelling film to watch. Was that what I was talking about? I can't remember. I'm getting really hungry again. Adam Solis says, yo, Mikey. Hello, Adam. Back at it again with the dope sketches. Are you doing Inktober this year? Because, I am Inktober guy hype. Yes, turns out, Adam, I am. Oh, yeah. So, somebody last week, did say, are you going to do Inktober? And at the time, I was just like, oh, I want to, but I'm pretty sure I won't have the time to do it. And then pretty much later that night, I was like, oh shit, it's October really soon. I'm going to do that October tablet giveaway. And then it was literally the day before, I was like, oh fuck it, I better just do an October Inktober kind of themed thing to kind of promote the tablet. Seeing as a giveaway kind of works on promoting loads of Twitter and Instagram and getting loads of hype and retweeting there to hopefully increase Instagram and or Twitter followers. That's kind of the main point of it, I guess, because, you know, we've got YouTube subscribers. Bloody love you guys. So yeah, I basically kind of had recorded myself saying no, and then the very next day I was like, yeah, I'm totally well up for it. So Inktober is, of course, happening. Follow along. I hope you guys are doing yours. Jordan Miller says, hey Mikey, what penny, you motherfucker. Fucking Jordan Miller. Obligatory sip of coffee. Hope you feel proud of yourself. The best tip I could give other artists is consistency, criticism. This is going to make no sense to half of you guys. Consistency, criticism, and creativity. Fuck, you guys love the seeds. Learn how to take criticism well and find what fuels your creativity. Is it music, travelling, hiking, biking? Is it watching a DWM? Excellent, sir. Good. Arslick. And cheers, man. Thanks for the great content. You're welcome, Jordan Miller. You bastard. And yeah, no, that's a great idea. Consistency, criticism, creativity. Consistency's never been my personal strong point. Tribute King says, I've been drawing since I was 4 years old. I'm 15 years and creating an outline for my own manga. Nice one, dude. Keep it up. Eduardo Nila says, holy mother of God. Mikey, you can speak Spanish? Pero estoy español, ¿no? No estoy español. Pero yeah, un hablo un poco. You got to keep languages up, man. I'm really fucking bad at languages. 5 years ago, this time 5 years ago, I used to be pretty sharp. But haven't been travelling much recently. How fucking sad is that? I've just had like air quotes normal holidays where you don't really kind of go around a country and get stuck into the culture. Marshingo says, I just enlisted into the US Marine Corps. Oh fuck, awesome. And I'm drawing a really oriental style anime chick at the moment. I'll send it to you when it's done. I recommend people do a lot of form studies. Copying isn't bad, but tracing is a killer. Yes, just been having a big rant about that, so you are correct. Try to see objects in a three-dimensional, read more comments way, and use your shoulder. Oh, get your shoulder into... Oh, fuck, you know what? I think that's really old-school art advice from the 80s. Yeah, move your arm from the shoulder. It's not just in your fingertips and your wrist. Oh, bloody hell, that's some old-school advice. Fucking hell, how old are you, man? Heaven's Lost Property was my first anime, too. Oh, not that old, then. Heaven's Lost Property, yeah, fair dues. What's going on? Kiru says, how's it going, Mikey? Not too bad, Kiru. I have a question. When it comes to drawing, who inspired you to start / continue drawing? For me, it's Kim Jung-ji, and of course, mikeymegamega. Arslick around here. Absolutely. Not that I'm hating it, I'm just blushing and thinking, oh, you guys. Kim Jung-ji, thank you very much for remembering the name I struggled with earlier. Yeah, like, absolutely. Also, Inoue Takehiko. So Kim Jung-ji's like a bit more of a modern artist who I've only recently discovered myself within the last couple of years, probably off of an old DWM suggestion from one of you lot. And I was like, fuck, what is this? It's blowing my mind. People can do this. It's incredible. This is the future. But for me personally, like an artist of worth who did those styles that really got me just salivating around of it was Inoue Takehiko, the slam dunk guy, the vagabond guy. And one of my earliest like YouTube videos is me just kind of like working on this big Inoue piece with like one samurai cutting through another, and I fucking just took so much pleasure out of it. And I messaged it to him and I got a message back, which was really fucking nice. So that absolutely made my day. A proper fanboyed out. So yeah, that's probably what I'll say is my super quick answer, if only to stop myself going on another 10-minute talk about how good Berserk is as well. Daniel Lopez says, one of the best art tips I have is that the pages of my sketchbook don't have to be perfect. Yes! Especially the first one that have to be the ugliest, that way you don't have to pressure yourself on what to draw. Absolutely. I think, hey guys, gather round. This is like, you know, the end of play school and it's story time and you're all sitting on the soft play area mats and I'm the teacher sitting on the stool and you're all like kneeling on the floor. Gather round, children. Shh, gather round. If there's one kind of message we're all going to take home today, yeah guys, sunshine and happiness. If there's one like thing we've learned about the journey together, it's that you're not always going to produce perfect artwork. Accept rough shit sketches. Putting a load of just shit out of your brain onto a sketch pad because you need to get it out of the way. Then you can start to maybe warm up and draw something that has a bit of a style to you, but you're not going to create a perfect masterpiece, and that is fine. That, if anything, is just as correct as coming up with something final, because you need to rough out your ideas and hash it and build it up and change it and let it mull and stew and recreate it as part of that process. So that's probably the most common one so far, as well as, you know, the journey is the destination and fucking Born to be Wild and whatever fucking other things it was. But yeah, that I'd say is probably the most consistent message we've had from this particular episode, which is very good. Haven't come up with a questione though yet, have we? Let's just sip some more coffee. Oh my god, I'm so hungry, I don't know what to do about this. I'm so fucking hungry. Not that you guys need to know that, but just letting you know what's going on in my mind. The Abraxas dude says, to be honest, dude, I usually just sketch whilst I listen to your sexy voice. Why, thank you very much. As for tips, I've got one. When started inking, I wasn't really confident in my darkening my old sketches. So after I sketched with a lighter pencil, I used a black coloured pencil as an ink substitute to build confidence in using darker lines. Yeah, I was really similar. I used to start with really light lines and really struggle with the confidence to darken them out. So I threw myself back in a deep end and I started just working with just an ink pen, which I did in loads of the sketchbooks. And most of my sketchbook stuff is ink pen sketchbook stuff, except for what's going on here. I did pencil this out a bit first because I wanted to, as accurately as possible, pay homage to the lovely artwork behind One Punch Man. But yeah, generally I just go straight in with an ink pen just to get those rough ideas down. But building up with pencil is still a massive part of my process personally. What else is going on? Oh, we've gotten a good chunk through your comments, but there's still fucking loads. Laszlo Seremi says, the most recent useful tip for me was to draw more, even if they aren't big pieces or showing off all of my art skills. This helped me a bit on my self-esteem. Yeah, I'm only just noticing that now, because what I probably mentioned before on quite a few things is I don't draw every day. I'd like to have the time to, but I don't have that time. So I fit in what I can when I can. And now that I've committed to this Inktober thing, all of a sudden I'm forcing myself to draw or ink up a little bit every day. And yeah, I like doing that. I forgot how good it is just to get that into part of your daily routine. Anyway, if I made just a little modification though, the Virgin versus Chad meme template, as well as drawing my own. I have no idea what you're talking about there. We'll have to come back to it. Now I have to do something about procrastination, which affects my whole life and other projects. Yes, me too. And a lot would be fixed by a proper desk with legroom. Mate, I feel you. I mean, you've probably seen my videos. You've seen when I'm testing out a tablet or I'm just trying to get a drawing done. I don't have enough space on my desk, which is probably a really bad sign for a YouTube artist, to fit an A4 sheet of paper portrait. I don't have that space. So even when I work on stuff, I have to have it at a really jaunty angle. And oh yeah, it's an absolute fucker, right? Yeah. Shit. I need to just upgrade my desk lifestyle. Oh, we'll do it in the future. Let's not worry about it. But I know what you mean, Laszlo. I know what you mean nonetheless. James DeGaldo says, hi Mikey, hello James. I've recently gotten in a very depressed state and have quit drawing. Until I came across your channel. And I've slowly started getting motivation to draw again. I just wanted to say thank you. Hope you're well and hope you're serious. James Delgado. Yeah, it happens, right? Absolutely. I'm really glad to hear that you're getting back into drawing and stuff like that. If this is if any of the if any of the shit basically that I make in this weekday series or any of the tutorials or stuff that I try to put a bit of effort into helps you in any way, or any of you guys in any way, then I'm proper pleased. It's awesome, right? Obviously, I still beg for likes and clicks and tell people about my Patreon and stuff like that. But the reason I enjoy doing this is because I fucking think drawing's really important. I love art, and I think it's de-stresses people, and it kind of takes your mind off real life shit for a little bit and stuff like that. I'm a big backer of artwork in general. I think people should do it more. I recommend it to anyone, and that's why I like making all these videos and stuff like that, because we're kind of sharing a similar passion, me and you lot, you the crowd. The reason why I'm talking in stops and starts is because I'm opening a new tab. I'm trying to multitask, I can't do that, and I'm trying not to accidentally delete the recommendation of Armada by Ernest Klein from someone just earlier whose name I've already forgotten because I'm a monster. And let's go and click on Patreon. Dooba-dooba-doo. Don't worry, this isn't a massive Patreon promotion, but we're coming towards the end of the video. So this is the time where I get to say a great big thank you to you lovely patrons on Patreon, because although I love doing the artwork, of course, this channel wouldn't be here by now if Patreon didn't make it all possible. Seriously, I would have quit doing exactly this to this level. Maybe the odd video from time to time, but it wouldn't be all about this without your support. So an extra great big, oh my god, there's loads of joiners, awesome. Extra great big thank you can tell I've checked this recently. Daniel S, Ray C, The Clamps, Alvin R, Michael S, Trent H, Wes B, Steve R, Julio Felix O, Andy L, James S, Rory A, David W, Christian L, Gabriel R, Minion 715, Icy Zagi, and Adam T. Thank you so much for your support, you lovely patrons on Patreon, as well as to all of the rest of you. I shall see you guys next week. It's an open one, as in I don't have a particular question to throw at you today, other than to say, what's going on, guys? How you doing? Let me know in the comments below. Sorry if I've missed you. Comment again. Bye-bye.